morning. Hey, Amanda. Good morning. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, MAGA Cries. Good morning, Ruger. Good morning, Dr. Dahl. Or Dr. Dollar. Sorry, Dr. Dollar. Dr. Dollar. Dollar, make them holla. Good morning, guys. As we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin to boost the live, push us out to the FYP. We're going to go ahead and get started in here in just one moment. Also, we have the daily gift goal, which are the little love you very much. So if we can knock those out and knock out the daily gift goal a couple of times, that'll help boost the live. I'm really excited to be here this morning just because we got a lot going on, but there's no way in the world that I would not start my day off without seeing all of you guys, because it's going to be a busy day. But with that being said, still had to come and see you guys. Do you ever sleep? I do. I sleep a couple hours. Like I sleep like 4 hours. 4 hours is about enough for me. That's about enough for me. Anyway, guys, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Make sure that we are knocking out the daily gift goal. That'll help boost the live and it'll push us out to the FYP. And if you are a Trump supporter or if you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Let's get after it.
You stepped in the box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey,
step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong,
get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
Slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Boom.
Step in if you dare. If you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air.
How do you feel about?
No plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
JJ, I don't give a shit. How do you feel about coming up here to debate me? How do you feel about that one? How about you do it? Yeah, I'm gonna mute you. How about you come up here and debate me? It looks like you don't have your JJ the Gemini. Come up here and talk to him. Like you got your request off. You know, put that in my chat. But I'm willing to talk about it, but you gotta get in the box. I'm not gonna talk to the comments.
This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
It's a flame space.
Yes, it is.
You wanna sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome in. Good morning. Welcome in. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Sorry, my backup account was doing something funny, so I had to drop it. Let me get it back up here. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. It's only one coin and will boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. And, you know, I love you as well. I think we have all come to a pretty good conclusion, right? I don't think there's many people that can actually push back on anything on the background anymore. And which I understand it. I understand it. Joe Kent resigns over the war. Really? Gonna have to take a look at that. It's been a lot of interesting things happening, guys, especially, you know what? I don't know if you guys saw what happened yesterday, but Donald Trump giving his speech yesterday, it was like bad. Like it was a lot of rambling nonsense. It was a lot of incoherent rambling nonsense. Like it was really bad. And I got a couple of clips from it. Jay, that's not how you get up. Like spamming in the chat, let me up. No, I see you in the request. You can sit there. I was about to bring you in until you start spamming that. That's weird. Don't do that. Don't be weird. Anyway, the fact that like Donald Trump is absolutely someone who is at best cognitively compromised. Like it's super, super weird. Hi, JJ, welcome up.
Hi, Santana. I hope you didn't take any offense to my question. It wasn't trying to be rude or nothing. I'm actually a fan of you and Dean. I just wanted to know because I pretty new to Seki or whatever her name is, Constant. I only knew about her because of what happened with her and Dean. So I was just wondering what your thoughts about all that was, because to my understanding, Dean never really acknowledged what she was saying as far as what was going on with them. He only referred to what she was doing with other people. And she also like mentioned that she used to do those lives with Dean and Parker, and then after they fell out, that's when they brought you in. So I just wanted to know do you think Dean is like an ally? And sorry, my voice is all shaky now, but do you think Dean's like an ally? And what were your thoughts on her calling you a token black friend?
A couple of different things. There's a couple of different things that I think. First and foremost, I think that we don't talk about other creators in my space. All right, that's one reason why I told you to come up and we could talk about it, because the one thing that I have no interest in doing is like litigating whether a creator is or is not, or what they are not doing. Like that's not something I'm interested in. But what I will tell you is a couple of different things. One, I don't engage in anti-blackness, right? So in case like anyone is confused about this, the one thing that I will never do is have a dispute with another black person, especially in person, never in mixed company. But you'll never catch me putting down any black person online, because like that's not something that I'm interested in. Now, if I'm gonna get my jokes off, I'm gonna get some jokes off. That's a little bit different than discussing a real serious issue or even a problem that I have with anyone or whatever. So like that's not something that's going to happen in public spaces. And number two, when you talk about like Dean or whether he is or is not or all this other stuff, like the one thing that I tell people is that you engage with people in different spaces and places depending on how you are and how you engage with them. The relationship that I have with Dean is based off of our personal interactions. It's not based off of social media. So my friendship with him is based off of us two individually, not based off of like this whole social media like influencer thing. It's not because he does debates, I do debates. It's because we're actually friends. So I'll just say, to wrap that all up, when you talk about any type of conflict between people online, or you talk about any type of conflict at all, there's one thing I always tell people: there's three sides to every story. Your side, their side, and the truth. And the truth is where people should try to live and try to understand there's always going to be spin. There's always going to be biases. There's always going to be people that view things differently. But the one thing that I'll never do is bash another black person in public. And I will never throw my friends or in this case, my little brother Dean under the bus for anybody. So it's a nothing burger for me.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you for clarifying, because I didn't know if you guys were like friends outside of social media or if he only calls you up to like give a black point of view on his lives. So yeah, thanks for clarifying that. But yeah, I didn't mean to be rude or anything like that. Have a good rest of your day. Do you mind kicking me? I'm not sure how to leave.
1 second. Let me unmute you before you go. There we go. All right. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just say like one thing that I think that being in this social media sphere has caused people to like live life in front of everybody, right? And the one thing that I have no real interest in doing is like talking about any issues I may have online in a personal aspect. So, yeah, there's that. Only if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Hi, Jay, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, I disagree with that stuff on the background, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I am conservative. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Okay, perfect. We can do this. Jay, quick question before we go too far. Do you know who I am?
No, not necessarily. No, I've not. This is a new live. I've never seen this one before.
Okay. Listen, Jay, would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
It's your live, sir. You can do what you want.
All right, perfect. One moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is a Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, I am only looking for some debate. So if you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. I'm going to keep resetting these daily gift goals to these little 1 cent gift goals that'll help boost the live as well. We have Jay here, and Jay disagrees with a couple of different things on the background. Jay, which point do you disagree with the most where you would actually like to start?
I would say remove men leaders.
Okay. Jay, why are you pushing back on that? Is there? Why do you think we shouldn't remove men leaders?
I honestly don't have any issue with female leaders or women. I'm sorry for saying female. I know y'all don't like me saying female, but women leaders, I have no issue with it. Mm-hmm. But it's not. So I would just say that as good as men can be leaders, women can be leaders. I don't think there's necessarily. But I think men are better at certain stuff and women are better at other stuff. Like it's not like nothing. But definitely when it comes to politics, I think men are a little better at like some sort of politics. Yeah, when it comes to politics. But it could be more a personal bias. Just because I prefer a lot of male politicians over, I don't know a lot of female politicians or women politicians that I like.
Men and women, okay. But okay, so are you saying that your biases leads you to believe that men are better in politics because your lack of knowing women politicians? Is that your entire thing?
No, it's just the women that I have seen throughout my life. I typically I don't disagree with them. So that only I'm admitting it's a bias. It's not necessarily something that's grounded in truth. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I bring that up is because I mean a majority of conservative politicians would be male, but a lot of times a bit more liberal. The politicians that do exist, the more liberal politicians are a lot of times women. So for me to be conservative, and normally when you see like a trend or something like that, I mean, you would normally typically the crowd that you fit most with is normally the crowd you're going to be around. So that's probably why I normally prefer men politicians. Not to say that women can't be just as good as men, but it's just that they're typically just not. They don't just align with me morally, I guess.
Women don't align with you morally?
No, women politicians. I've seen a majority of women I know align with me morally. But I'm saying women politicians.
Wait, hold on.
Typically.
Help me understand this. What's the issue with women politicians and as far as morals? How do they not align with you morally?
Well, I think the motivations for women to become politicians, a lot of times it typically comes from like, I don't think conservative women have as much of a motivation to become politicians. This is why I differentiated politicians between regular women. I just don't think conservative women have the need as much of liberal woman to become a politician. For an example, like issues like abortion, which women, I personally, I'm pro-life, but like a woman on the other hand may, because they believe that this is such a major issue, they get more of a motivation to become a politician, while conservative women might not necessarily have that motivation to become a politician.
Got it. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
So you're pro-life.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Sure.
Got it. Okay. Jay, why are you pro-life? Is that based off of your religious beliefs or like constitutional? Where are your morals grounded when it comes to your thoughts as far as abortion?
It's pretty simple. Obviously religious, but it's pretty simple. I just don't agree with unaliving unborn babies.
Got it. Yeah. I don't either. I don't think we should murder any babies. Like, I think you and I can absolutely agree on that. Jay.
But I wouldn't even call it murder in every single case. I wouldn't even say it's murder. Like, if the woman is in, like, has a threat of harm from the baby, I may not even agree with it, but I could understand. I have no say in that. You're choosing between two bad situations.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't have a say.
Run this logic train with me for a second, Jay. So you're pro-life, right? And it's grounded in your religion, but it seems like you are willing to extend some type of exception. So, question: if there were a nationwide abortion ban that was instituted, where there were exceptions, right, for incest, rape, life of the mother, and it was something that was enforceable to the the maximum penalty of the law, not, like taking anyone's life, but saying like, if someone did it illegally, if they broke the law, then they would be held accountable by the law.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with having that abortion ban in place?
If there's exceptions?
Yes, for life of the mother, incest, and rape. Or do you grant all three of those, or which ones? I know you said life of the mother, but how do you feel about incest and rape?
My main contention between when abortion is okay or not is if the mother's life is in threat. Like, okay. I can agree. And then there's two. I want to differentiate. I don't like to misspeak, so I'm gonna just let this know. This is why I talk a lot, because I don't want you I don't want to misrepresent myself. I don't want you misunderstanding me. Okay, so I'm not just trying to ramble. But when it comes to even sexual or SA, I don't know. There's like I don't want to get you banned or whatever. But when it comes to SA, I personally, I think the baby should live, but I can understand me not having a say on that, or the government not having a say on that. The only time I think the government should have a say on abortion is if it's just an abortion without SA, like incest or the mother's life is at hand. That's the only time I think the government should enforce it. But morally, that's a different story.
Okay, so I don't believe in that case, then, with what you're willing to be okay with, right, at the very least, is you would do a nationwide abortion ban with those three exceptions: life of the mother, incest, and rape. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because I don't believe the government should have a say on it. I personally don't.
Perfect. And the reason being is that you're rooted in your religion, and even more you're rooted in your religion, and you don't want to see any babies lose their lives. Does that?
Yeah, and I don't want to. Even then, even with the exceptions, I don't want to see mothers or harmed. Or yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, I got something for you that I think you might actually really dig, Jay.
Yeah, sure.
I got a solution. Actually, let me just make sure, because I don't want to judge a book by its cover. I want to make sure that I'm, tracking. Hey, Jay, how many uteruses do you have?
I don't have any uterus.
You don't have any uteri? No spare uteri hanging out or anything?
Yeah, well, if it's called uteri, I don't have any uteri.
All right, I just wanted to check and see if we. Okay. All right, I don't have any uteri either, right? I don't have a uterus. You don't have a uterus. I don't have a uterus. No uteri at all on this panel right now. So, I don't think that it's necessarily beneficial for two men to sit up here and talk about abortion, especially when we don't have that skin in the game. But
why?
Speaking of skin, well, because it would be a little hyperbolic for us to sit here and say like, oh, two men are sitting here litigating women's body. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that, because again, neither one of us.
Well, it's not just her body who's in it. Wait,
yeah. Well, hold on.
It's not just her body who's in.
Just track me for a second.
Yeah.
I don't find value in two men having this conversation when neither one of us would actually be the ones dealing with the implications of birth and all that. So I don't want to talk about abortions, but But Jay, I did say I have a solution, right?
Yeah, speak to me.
Jay, check this out. And this is what's mind blowing. I'm live right now, but I'm flying out in a couple of hours and I'm going to DC. And if I can get you on board with this, then you and I can march down Pennsylvania Avenue together today or tomorrow, but when I land. Anyway, we can march down Pennsylvania Avenue and you and I, hand in hand, conservative, leftist, we can push this together. Check it out. All right. Instead of worrying about abortions, because you and I already agreed, like, we don't want to see any babies, murder, all this other stuff. That's cool. So we already have a baseline. You've already agreed that, you would do a ban and you would even give some exceptions. Cool. Instead of worrying about abortions, Jay, follow me on this one. Mandatory vasectomies.
Why?
Oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. I got it. So if we instituted mandatory vasectomies, Jay, this would be more safe, efficient, effective than any type of birth control that we could ever implement. Having a vasectomy is safer than taking a pill, the IUD, or the shot, right? It's reversible up to 5 years. In typical, it's 100% reversible within 5 years. And then after 5 years, it slightly starts to decrease depending on the person. It's a quick outpatient surgery. Jay, do you hoop?
Not necessarily. I like football. I never really
like football. Okay. Well, listen, did you know that you could actually go, today's Tuesday, you can go get a vasectomy today. And then by this weekend, you could be out running routes. Like, you could be playing, flag football by this weekend if you went and got a vasectomy today. It's a quick outpatient procedure. It's safe, effective, efficient. It's cheaper than an actual abortion as well. And you know what you can actually do? You could actually freeze your sperm prior to the actual vasectomy. So there's no chance of missing out on having kids, because you can always just, use your sperm and actually have kids that way. And like I said, after 5 years, the actual rate starts to decrease just a little bit. But if we do that, right, we eliminate the root cause of the issue. So we don't even have to talk about like abortions and all this. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, you remember, it was like, women, right? Or like the politicians and the morals. Jay, listen, women, right? Jay, am I right?
I like women. It's just I don't really like women politicians.
Yeah. Anyway, Jay, listen, if we do this, we don't even have to worry about the women, right? We can focus on the men, which would be the root cause of the issue, and we don't even have to talk about abortion.
Well, I'm not against childbirth. That's not.
I'm not either. I'm literally not either. This isn't
pregnancy.
I'm not against it either. But I'm saying that if we instituted mandatory vasectomies, then
how does vasectomy stop a baby that's already in existence?
Oh, no. See, that's the neat part. When does life begin?
When does life begin? I would say a short time after conception. I'm not very knowledgeable,
pretty much people agree that life starts
once
in conception.
The cells start replicating. I guess
people pretty much agree life starts at conception. What happens if there's no conception?
Life never starts.
Boom! Right? So if you get an actual vasectomy, you don't even have to worry about conception. There's no need for abortions because you're stopping it.
Well, you're stopping any pregnancy, correct? If every male were to get a let's just say even a permanent vasectomy, would that just stop? Would that just stop all pregnancies? No.
Remember what I said? You can freeze sperm. You can get a whole load off. And guys, that is the actual medical term. I looked it up. It's called a load. You can get a whole load out, freeze your sperm, and you never have to worry about actually unintentionally getting women pregnant. You could just actually use your sperm.
That's not too bad, but I don't think it should be mandatory, but that's not too bad.
Wait. Why not? Because like you said here, you're willing to institute a nationwide abortion ban with exceptions. But hold on, listen to me. Just follow me, right? You're willing to institute a nationwide abortion ban with exceptions, but if you actually did this, right, one, you don't even have to worry about abortions, but two, you agree that you were willing to put this ban in place and actually enforce it with the maximum penalty of the law. So I'm confused why you wouldn't do something that's
because
better.
when an abortion takes place, there's two bodies that's being affected right here. So you're choosing between the well-being of two bodies. But with the vasectomy, you're really just speaking because the baby's not in existence yet. This is why I asked a question about before conception, if it's before conception, or because there's only one body that's being affected right now.
That makes it even better.
That's why I don't believe it should be. I don't
think your logic is tracking.
I'm conservative in some ways and liberal in other ways. I'm not really a big fan of government interference with our personal lives.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's why I'm
libertarian. But hold on, listen. You said with abortion, it's two bodies, or it's two lives, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, that's why. Why the government interferes. That's why you put the government interferes.
But still, this is a position where you're saying because not everyone actually.
That's the point of the government, to govern multiple people.
Wait, hold on. Not everyone actually believes in the premise as far as like, oh, this is two lives, right? And so,
who doesn't agree with that? A fetus is not living. I mean, I don't think they should be having this conversation if they don't.
A fetus isn't a baby.
I didn't say the fetus was a baby. I said is the fetus living or not.
But what I'm saying is like, if you have a lot of people that don't agree.
That's cool.
Well, hold on.
There's a lot of people who believe the Earth is flat, dude. But we're not going to make an argument to appeal to people who believe the Earth is flat.
Whoa, slow down, Jay. Slow down. There's a lot of people that don't recognize a fetus as a baby until it's viable, right? So they don't grant it any type of reverence.
That's very ambiguous. When you say viable, like that's very ambiguous. Well, because it doesn't really. I mean, you can have like hundreds of different perspectives on what's viable and what's not viable.
Viable means that it has the ability to live outside of the womb.
But no, viable itself doesn't even refer to the womb. The where it comes from, like viable can mean doesn't really mean have anything to do with the womb. I don't know what you mean, but I guess in this scenario, yeah,
it does. It does. Like
it could just mean capable of.
Yeah. Do you know what Roe v. Wade is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't Roe v. Wade what made abortion legal?
Well, no, it didn't make abortion legal. It was just a precedence as far as getting abortions up into the point of viability.
Well, I was wrong. My fault.
Yeah. So 24 weeks is the typical standard. And after 24 weeks, even with a little bit of assistance, fetuses can actually have a chance of surviving outside of the womb. Prior to 24 weeks, it's not sentient and has no sentient experience, and it does not have the ability to actually live outside of the womb. Even if I'm not going to say no chance, but it's highly unlikely that it can make it outside of the womb prior to that. But
Santana, I got a question. Mm-hmm. Can I ask a question? I know this is just there's somebody, this is random person. Let's say this person's in a coma, correct?
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. 1 second before you said that. Hey, the conservative, hey, asshat, get up here and debate me. I don't care about you like spamming in the comments. I'm going to send you a request. You guys can go 2-on-1 with the great one. Get up here, you clown. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Anyways, let's say there's a person in a coma, complete coma. What would be I don't know. Actually, do you believe it's immoral to unalive someone with a coma, in a coma, in a sort of coma where not really necessarily a vegetable?
Wait. I was just about to say, are you trying to say someone that's brain dead or just in a coma?
No, necessarily. Yeah, that's why I don't want to mistake the two. Brain dead, no, not necessarily brain dead, because brain dead you really can't come back from. But with the possibility of coming back alive, do you think it's morally correct to unalive someone who's in a coma?
Why are you trying to kill people that are in a coma?
I'm not trying to kill people that's in a coma. I'm not trying to kill anybody, actually. I'm just asking a question, dude. I'm just a questioner.
I don't know.
I'm just a messenger,
though, but who's advocating for like taking the life of
I'm not advocating anything, dude. I'm just asking a question. What's morally wrong?
I'm confused about your question, though.
It's a very simple question. I'm just asking, do you believe it's morally right or morally wrong?
I know it's a simple question. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess to answer your question directly, I think it's wrong. But I mean, who's saying that it's right? Can you point me in the direction as far as like who's saying that it's right? That
I didn't say any.
No, that's fine. I'm just like,
where did I say somebody said it was right?
But
when did I say that?
Like with your question, like the supposition of most of these type of questions is to gauge like morality in the sense of there's some people that would say yes and there's some people that would say no. But I don't know who would say yes in this situation at all, unless you're like just. You know.
I'm a little glad you're confused. But okay. I'm willing to educate. I'm willing to let you understand my question. So the reason why I ask this, because there has to be some sort of reasoning on what makes something okay to unalive somebody, what makes it not okay. Because if no one's suffering, I used to have like when I was younger, I used to have a lot of like existential crises. I was very confused about the world. So I used to ask the question, if someone is not harmed, is it even wrong to unalive them? I was wondering what makes it wrong. So in the same question, this is when I came to like even abortion. I was like, this really intrigued me, the idea of abortion, because I'm like, we're unaliving children. If you can unalive a fetus when it doesn't really know anything or it's not sentient.
But that's not,
what is wrong with unaliving someone in a coma?
The flaw in your logic is it's not analogous. Like that doesn't make sense because the actual fetus doesn't have any past experiences, right?
What makes past experiences important?
Because that's what lends to the actual okay, got it. That's what lends to the actual premise as far as value placed on fetuses, right? Most people who debate whether or not abortion should or should not be legal talk about the past or future experiences. And if you lack past experiences, then like you don't have the same.
I'm curious on why past experiences matter, though. You're just saying other people argue that. That's cool, but why does it matter?
Well, I'm just trying to give you a baseline. Like,
and the reason why I say this is because this is another argument I've seen a lot of. I don't really see conservatives make this, or not argument, but this is something that's in contention. Is it morally right to like pull the plug almost? Like, is it even morally correct to do this?
See, so I'm curious. The issue that I have with a lot of this is like
when is it morally right to unalive someone versus when is it immoral? Right. I would even say, how about this? It's never right to unalive someone without justifiable cause or justifiable reason. That's why yes.
Okay, so let me baseline this for you because I feel like I don't know what's going on, but like this is weird. So I'm gonna baseline this. One, morality is subjective. I don't really give a shit about people morals because people morals.
I can agree with that.
That's why I say like, where's your morals grounded, right? So morality is subjective. Number two, when you talk about the actual life, the scenario that most people deal with is that people are brain dead because it's analogous to the point of like fetuses don't have a past experience, and if you're brain dead, you don't have a future experience, right?
That's why I didn't say brain dead. Brain dead is a bit different,
right? I know.
I'm saying I'm giving if someone was in a coma.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying.
My fault.
So the point that I'm getting to though is there's an equivalency between past and future experiences that lends itself to life, right? And so that's why people connect those two. And your point is just saying like, oh, it's just someone in a coma. Like that, I think that's just like, you know, I guess that's going to be up to people preference when you like, even you can say, do you believe in the death penalty? But anyway, I think all of this is going down like a way further road than I wanted to go because
I think it's pretty simple. You're kind of dancing around the question. I brought this up. Wait, hold on. No, you're dancing around the question.
Jay, hey,
I asked you a specific question.
Jay, right here. I'm not because you went back to abortions and we weren't even talking about abortions. We're not talking about abortions.
Jay, I asked a specific question. And you danced around it.
I need you to lock in for me. Guys, don't worry about muting them. I got them. You guys don't have to mute them. I got them. Jay, I need you to lock in for me. You want to go to abortions. And I'm saying that abortion, that's part 2 of the equation. Let's talk about part 1 of the equation right here. So go back to the point that I was making, which is part 1.
Vasectomy?
Yes.
Yeah, we can go back to that.
So why are you so stuck on saying no about implementing mandatory vasectomies, but you would say yes on implementing a nationwide abortion ban?
I'll say there's a couple of reasons, but the main reason, I said this before, I don't understand how you don't remember, but was because there's two bodies in contention. This is the reason why we have government, is when two people disagree, how do we come to an agreement? With a vasectomy, there's only one body that's in contention.
Okay.
This is
so
I wouldn't believe, no, it would be the same thing as I saying mandatory birth control. That doesn't even make sense.
Okay. So is it your contention that the government does not have the ability to actually govern individuals?
Well, the purpose of the government is to even govern individuals. I'm not saying that, but these individuals are in contention with another individual. So it's still individuals that's governing.
What do you mean in contention?
Well, or they disagree with each other. I may have used the wrong word.
Wait, so are you saying the government only has authority over individuals that are in disagreement?
Well, or for the possibility of a disagreement. Yes, that's the only purpose of the government. If one person lived in the country, there would be zero purpose of government. What would be the purpose of a government?
Right, but
the only reason our government exists is because multiple people, if two people exist together, there's a chance they disagree. And if they disagree, how do you come to an agreement?
Where are you getting this information that the government was established to actually only engage as far as disagreements?
Well, I could even grant you that I didn't really get it from a specific book or a specific quote. It's more just the concept itself. Government does not exist.
Where'd you get the concept from? Like, who outside of yourself has actually talked about this concept?
I would say even when I was like a kid, just studying how civilizations work or how governments forms. It's not really a specific. I can't give you like a specific event that caused me to know this.
Okay,
I think it was more general.
Just to make sure that
But if you disagree, it's okay.
Well, no, I know it's okay because that's like not the function of the United States government. I mean, it's clearly outlined as far as the multiple functions of the United States government. And so,
well, can you give me a better reason why government exists?
Yeah, I can, but I want to make sure that I figure out.
Can you just give it to me real quick before we move on? I just want
No, absolutely not.
So you disagree with me, but you just don't know why. But you disagree with me.
Jay, please stop speaking over me. And
I'm sorry, dude. You're funny.
I'm literally trying to get you to lock in on your point so we can make sense. If I start talking about something else, then we're going to move off to something else, and then we're going to keep like getting around. And I really want a clear, decisive answer. So I need to understand your perspective, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can go through the actual definition of the government and what structures the United States government and all these other governments. That's fine. But I need to verify right now. So your premise is the government was established, or the purpose of the government is to govern conflicts between two or more citizens.
Exactly. That's the purpose.
Okay,
main purpose. I don't even think there's another purpose, but it's at least the main purpose. I don't believe there's another purpose, but I can grant that if there is.
This purpose that you're speaking to, there's no actual documentation stating this. You're just saying that this is the.
Well, you can take concepts from various events, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
You would know what I'm talking about.
Why do I
actually? If you let me finish my sentence, Jay, that's me muting you. Stop. So your point is, as far as this actual basis that you're using, it comes from you reading different things, not only about United States history, but world history. And since you've read things from all over, you've taken this information and you've combined it into what you are able to contextualize. And that's why you're saying that. Is that an accurate statement?
Well, yeah. Well, I think you kind of even exaggerated, not in a bad way, but what I'm saying, not from all over. I won't say all over. I'm talking basic middle school, elementary learning stuff. It's this is basic information that the purpose of the government is because if two people disagree, how do you come to an agreement? I thought this was common knowledge, but if you disagree with it, I mean, sure, just give me a better definition or a better purpose of the government.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I lean on the actual constitutional structuring of the government, in which has been outlined.
Not answering my question, by the way.
How I'm not finished speaking. Why do you have issues with
because you're not answering my question. You're running.
What was your question?
What is the purpose of the government?
Okay, and then what did I say?
You're bringing up the U.S. Constitution. That's one specific government.
Jay. No, Jay. Lock the fuck in and
You're not
answer the question.
Okay, so repeat your question.
Why would answer it? What governs our country?
The U.S. Constitution. As I said, it was a specific government.
Yes. Who gives a shit about other governments? Why we're talking about abortion in America? Why would I be talking about other governments? Are you
because
okay?
We're arguing of the purpose of government.
No, the fuck we're not. Jay.
That's literally what we were arguing.
You're not tracking. No, we're not. Fine. I will let you know. I will let you know what we're
bring
arguing.
up the Constitution if you want.
I will let you, Jay.
I promise.
I will let you know what you're arguing. Right. So, what we're
bring up the Constitution,
arguing, Jay. I need you to stop speaking because apparently you're having tracking issues, and I need to make sure that you're focused. So, the original point was based on mandatory vasectomies, and you said that you wouldn't be good with mandatory vasectomies because you don't think that's within the authority of the government. You said your premise is the government is made to handle disputes between two or more citizens. And I said, that's not the function of the government, because I was like, where did you get it from? You said that it's from the stuff that you've learned throughout the years and da-da-da-da-da. Fine. And so then I said, that's not the purpose of the government. And you said, well, what's the purpose of the government? And I started to talk about, am I finished? Finished? I'm not. Stay on mute. So I started to bring up what the structure of the United States government is, why it was actually created, and how it's supposed to function. So I'm talking about specifically the United States government in order to get past this point. As far as you saying the only thing the government is supposed to do is to handle disputes between two people, so we can finish the point about mandatory vasectomies. Jay, are you tracking now?
Okay. Yes, I'm tracking, dude. I didn't really disagree with almost anything you said, except for maybe the slight insults. But I agree with you. I can agree that's the point. But that has nothing to do with what I asked you. I asked you, what is the purpose of the government? So just answer that question. Government? No, government in general, genius. We can bring up the Constitution if you want. That's not the reason why I asked the question. Stop dodging. You are dodging this question. This is the fourth time I got to ask you this.
Jay,
you are ducking, dude.
Listen,
1,000 people can see you're ducking.
Let me explain to you why answering that question doesn't make sense.
And you're running.
I'm going to answer why the question doesn't make sense.
And you're running.
The reason why the question doesn't make sense is because there's more than one type of government. And since there's more than one type of government, those different types of government have different purposes and functions. So I would only be speaking about the governmental system that we have within the United States of America. There's no generalization that would be widely acceptable for all types of governments through all of society. That makes no sense to speak in generalities when we can speak specifically about the United States government. Now, do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Santana, can I just make one point, then we can continue, all right? So can you give me a single government on earth that's purpose didn't fall under handling disputes between two people? Give me one government on earth. And you can't do it. Stop panting, dude. This is not hard. This is not rocket science. Like, what? What is wrong with you?
Jay.
But we can bring up the U.S. Constitution now. We can bring up the U.S. now.
No. I need you to stop for a second, because I think that you think that you're way smarter than you are. But I like you really.
I'm not that smart.
Mind blowing.
This makes it worse. I'm not that smart. I'm an average IQ, dude.
Yeah, you're below average.
I'll be below average, and you can't answer a question.
But I'm literally answering your question. You don't have impulse control. Shut up. So for you to sit here and pretend, as you said, the main function of the government is to handle disputes between citizens. That's not you actually said the only function is for the governments to handle disputes between citizens. That's what you said. Am I wrong?
You're actually kind of right, but I said
that's what you said.
Wait. Can I finish?
Said no.
I did say that.
You said the main.
Don't cut me off.
You said the main focus is for them to. Okay, cool. Where are you getting that from,
dude? I mean, unless you can prove me wrong.
No, you made the claim.
Because if you look at governments, you look what they do. Where
are you getting that from?
It's not a specific document. There's not a specific document.
Okay, so you just made the shit up.
Basic reasoning. Basic. Like, this is not rocket science.
That means
I can't believe you disagree with this.
Yeah,
I also think you disagreed with this. This is the least thing I
disagree with it because you don't know shit. Got it. All right.
Okay, I don't know shit. Prove it.
I'm about to prove it right now.
This is how you sound to me. Every time I ask you to do something.
You know how you sound to me? Because I feel so. I feel this way. I don't really have anything. I haven't studied anything. I don't have any sources, but I feel this way. So the primary purpose of a government is to maintain social order, provide security, establish justice, and promote the general welfare of its citizens. So this is something that's widely acceptable throughout the entire premise of the governmental system. This is by a study that was completed by Cleveland State University. Maintaining order and security, which means establishing the legal framework to prevent chaos, protecting citizens from internal crimes and external threats, protecting the rights and liberties, safeguarding individuals' rights such as property rights and personal freedoms, providing public goods and services, building and maintaining infrastructures, road, bridges, providing public education and facilitating essential services, promoting general welfare, addressing the needs of the community by protecting the environment, regulating the economy, and managing social program, resolving conflicts. That's the one that you were talking about, using courts and legal systems to dispute fairly. So there are multiple key points of generalizing government, and that's not even talking about the United States government, but generalization of of different governments throughout the world. And those main key points are the reasons. So you said that it was for the one thing that there was the last main point, which is the resolving conflicts. There's multiple things that have been highlighted. Now, can you tell me why is it that there are multiple things that the generalization of the government, we haven't even talked about the United States government yet, but the generalization of the government, there's multiple things that you decided not to even engage with? Or do you want to just admit that you don't know shit?
Yeah, because 95% of everything you said can clearly be labeled under disputes between two people.
Okay. Prove it.
Bring them up individually.
Quantify
them up individually.
Sure.
Bring them up individually, and I'll demonstrate it.
The maintaining order and security. That's obviously. I'm literally reading it.
Okay, I said individually, dude. So do one by one, and we can address them.
That is one. You have zero fucking impulse control.
That's the point.
Shut up. You have to let me finish before you start speaking. This is the first one. You said bring it up one by one. That's the point. This is the first one. If you swipe out again, are you reporting? Are you sitting there swiping out the report? Is that what you're doing? Are you being weird?
No. No, I'm not doing that, dude. I just like okay.
This is it. I'm going to let you go. So the first point, maintaining order and security, which is establishing the legal framework to prevent chaos, protecting citizens from internal crimes and external threats. All right, now you can speak.
Okay, so that was not one, but I guess.
That's literally the first one. That's what just because it has more words than you understand.
That's what ChatGPT told you? This is what you bring up from ChatGPT?
First and foremost,
anyway,
I have no.
But no, that would still be multiple. That would be multiple points.
No, shut up. Shut up, you fucking donut. I've told you where this came from. I said this is a study, a comprehensive study that was completed by Cleveland State University. And you haven't given me one source yet. Not only have you not given me one source yet, you have said that you don't have any sources. You've admitted that you don't have any sources. You've said that you are saying these things based off of the shit that you learned from elementary and junior high school. You said that shit.
I've said
you said that shit. So unless you are actually willing to bring up any sources, you will, one, shut the whole fuck up about the sources that I'm talking about, and two, allow me to finish what I'm saying. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down. I don't think that this needs to be where it is, so I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna thank a couple of people. You're gonna take a fucking second, and then you can speak. W's in the chat from Michael. Michael sent a $10 donation saying, good morning. Lock in, crack the can, let's cook. Appreciate you, Santana. I appreciate you way more, Michael. W's in the chat from Michael. W's in the chat as well for Joel. Joel sent a $5 donation saying, no swimmers gang, or hashtag no swimmers gang, hashtag team vasectomy. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation says, Jay really thinks he's cooking and is a deep philosopher with the questions, but he really is just confused with Jaden, and just as confused as Jaden Smith tweet. I don't get that reference, but I'll take your I'll take you up on that one. That was in the chat for Demo, who sent a $4.99 euro, said Trump is asking for allies to help. It's the funniest thing. We never needed them, so he can stick to his word, and plus we aren't joining an illegal war. I agree. I literally agree with that. Debbie's in the chat for Steph for the $1.99 super chat to say 65,000 rape caused pregnancies since no Roe v. Wade. Yeah, it's been crazy. Debbie's in the chat for Sid, who sent a $5 super chat to say, yo, Jay, maybe let Santana finish a sentence and you won't seem silly. Yeah, he has impulse control issues. Also follow up by another $2 super chat to say, attention spawn of raw spaghetti. Yeah. I agree. Last but not least, guys, W's in chat for MAGA cries for the $2 donation saying a fetus is a parasite and Jay's a clown and doesn't know anything. I agree. W's in the chat for all the donos. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out, guys. 1.1 thousand people hanging out. Keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Also, make sure that you are following the main account. This is the main account. Hit that follow button. We're trying to get up to 100,000 followers, but make sure you follow the backup account as well. We're trying to get the backup account to 50,000 followers. So go ahead and make sure you hit the follow button on both of those, and we'll keep going. All right, Jay, I'm going to give you the floor. Now, just to make sure that we're level set, what you are looking to do, your point was we're talking about the government. We're talking, not specifically talking about the United States government, because you didn't want to talk about that, but you're talking about government in general. We started talking about the actual generalization of governments throughout society. I told you about a study from Cleveland State University that looks at the key factors and responsibilities of governments. And you said that all of the other things that I named can all go under your premise, which is the reason that governments exist is for resolving conflict between two or more citizens. So the first thing is that I read off was maintaining order and security, which is establishing a legal framework to prevent chaos and protecting citizens from internal crimes and external threats. The floor is yours. How is that maintaining issues between two or more citizens?
Okay, well, you added citizens. I never said two or more citizens, but I said disagreements between two or more people. And the reason why I say that, because the whole purpose of government, if a government doesn't exist yet, they're not nobody's citizens of anything. But the reason why government...
Hold on, stop for a second.
And I get stopped again.
Wait, no, I've been saying...
Y'all see how I get stopped, but it's okay. But when I stop...
Because this is the first time you've said that you're not talking about citizens, even though I've been saying citizens the entire time.
When have I said citizens?
No, I've been saying citizens the entire time.
Citizens will fall under two people, yes, but that's not the reason why. That's one of the purposes after the fact. But I don't think it. How can you have citizens if a government doesn't exist? That doesn't make sense, dude.
If the government doesn't exist, then why the fuck are we talking about the government?
I said if the reasoning of government existing, the cause has to be before or after the government exists. And he can't answer the question. Basic question.
You're stupid.
Do I have to repeat the question?
Yeah, repeat the question, but do it smart this time.
I can reword it. I get you. So if a government has a cause of existing, does that cause of existing have to come before or after the government exists?
It can be either one.
What? A cause can come after what it's causing?
I'll explain it to you.
Okay, explain it to me.
Okay, so when I say it can be either one, the necessity to create a government can be driven by an actual cause, or the actual purpose of the government can be driven by a cause. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a necessity.
I kind of don't. I kind of don't. I don't understand what you're saying. Can you reword that a bit?
Yeah. So you understand that there's different types of governments, right?
I agree.
Okay. So when a government is first created, it could be created for democracy, right? You understand that?
Created for democracy? I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't care if you agree with
democracy is a type of government, but that doesn't mean governments are not created to be I don't agree with that, not necessarily. You would have to demonstrate that.
If the premise of the government is the people want an organized and guaranteed liberties and freedom where people are actually like established and they have the guidelines that are completely set. They say, hey, we want to create an entity that guarantees that our freedoms as people will be like protected.
Yeah.
They want democracy, right?
Yeah, I think there's other governments where it depends on what you consider freedom.
I know. I'm trying to keep it at the simplest level.
I get what you're saying. That's why you brought up the example, and I just want to fully use that example. But I get what you're saying now. So you're not using democracy as a specific example. It's just the general argument. Okay. I just want to clarify, dude. Don't get mad.
But so then let's say that democracy is in place and it's not working. Right? There's famine and like people are dying and all this other stuff. And there's a strong man that steps up, an authoritarian who takes control to actually make sure that people survive. And he becomes an authoritarian, right? And so the actual government shifts from being, quote unquote, for the people, by the people to a one ruler type system that's the sole initiative of what the ruler deems to be necessary for the people is what drives it versus the people deeming what's necessary. So do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying now.
So that's what I mean.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know what's your point. The
point is that the cause can come before the creation of the government, or the cause can come after the creation of the government.
Well, I would think that, I'm sorry, but I would think once that authoritarian ruler takes place, it would be a new type of government. I would say that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but it's still a government, right? That's why I said you've been talking.
It's still a government, but the purpose of that specific government.
Yeah, okay, but I got a question. Wait, no.
I got a question.
No.
I'll answer your question.
We need to finish this thought.
You've
been talking about the actual generalization of a government. You have not.
Yes.
We're not talking about different types. We weren't going through all of that. You've been talking about the generalization of the government, and that's where we've been. So can you acknowledge that the actual cause, the purpose of the government can occur before or after the creation of said government?
Well, I would say those are two types of governments. Where's your contention against that? Like, what is the issue with that? Your explanation that your contention is just that, well, we're talking about the general government. Well, it's still two different governments. Whether you talk about the general government.
You have been talking about the general government.
That doesn't disprove my point. Yeah,
you don't have a point. What point do you think you're making right now, Jay?
Well, because your point is only valid if the government stays the same.
What point do you think you're actually making? Not my point, your point. What point do you think
my point was about your point, genius. What are you talking about? My point was about your point. What are you talking, bro? You're actually mental. It's like you're so shallow-minded.
No, you're actually stupid. Like literally, this is what's interesting to me. No,
that's ironic.
Yeah, you're sitting here speaking as if you have some type of facts or information, right?
How's this not facts?
Give me the facts. Where are you basing this information?
What's your specific contention?
No, like give me where everything that you're saying.
No, everything that you're saying.
Listen, no, stop. Listen to me. Your premise that you have been laying out as far as the government and as far as any of the following information that you have been stating, even the contentions that you've had with the things that I've been stating, I need some type of verifiable source from anything that you've said that is outside of the fifis in your tum-tum. Any source for anything that you said.
For anything that I said, I mean, most of the stuff I said, I don't really say stuff that's like controversial. I would only say the only thing I'll say. Wait, dude, you're not letting me finish.
I don't want you to explain it.
You're cutting me off.
Yes, I'm
cutting me off. Look at him cutting me off.
Yes. I don't care about you sitting here making generalizations and saying, no, I don't give a fuck about that. I want a source for anything that you have said, because you haven't grounded anything that you've said in any type of facts or data. I need you to just ground the things that you have said in any type of source or data, anything.
What about reasoning? Would reasoning count?
Reasoning is based off of data.
So reasoning would be based off of data. So
yes.
Yeah. So give me
the data that you're basing your reasoning in.
Give you the data. You can literally look up the history of any civilization.
Okay, then give me the data specifically. Okay. No.
So you just want me to give you an example of a civilization?
No.
Can I give you an example of a civilization?
No. I want you to stop and listen to me. I don't care about your opinions anymore.
I'll give you a specific civilization if that's what you want. Is that what you want?
No. I want you to stop talking.
Then what do you want?
I'm trying to explain it to you. You're acting like a man-child and you can't hear me. I don't want an example of a civilization. I don't want your thoughts. I don't want your opinions. I want an actual source that you're pulling the information from. So if you're going to talk about a civilization, cool. But give me the source material that you're using to talk about the civilization. Go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look up a random civilization, because consistently with every civilization I've ever looked at, the same reason why their government was existing. I mean, even look at current civilizations. America. We can bring up America.
No. I don't want to hear you explain it.
But I can't finish.
No, because I don't want to hear you explain. You said you're going to look up a random civilization and then give me the information. Cool. Do that. Give it to me. No, do that. Give it to me, and then I'll let you speak. I want to be able to look at the source information that you're speaking on so I can align it with the words that you're actually saying. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take the random civilization. I don't give a shit. Just get me some source material so we can verify your thoughts, so it's not just coming from the fifis and your tum-tum. I'm perfectly fine with that. Welcome in, Facts Rate. As you guys get in, tap the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart.
Can I just bring up the Constitution? Is that okay?
No.
Constitution is a...
I'm talking. Like, did you not hear words? Did you not hear words coming out of my mouth? Welcome in, Facts Rate. As you get in, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin, and a boost the live pushes out to the FYP. Also, make sure you're hitting that follow button. A couple of W's in the chat. Got W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation, saying I wanted to get this in because I have an interview shortly. I may miss the end of the stream, but you're going to knock it out in the park in DC. Thank you. I know and believe you. We believe in you. You're doing such great work. Thank you so much, Jared. I appreciate you. And good luck on the interview. Go ahead and kill that. W's in the chat for Tish for the $20 donation, saying a 15-minute safe procedure with minimum risk and minimum downtime versus permanent changes to the body, mental and physical. That is one of the most dangerous times for a woman, but we got to protect men, right? Apparently so. W's in the chat for Maddie, who sent a $1 donation. Oh, okay. I'll check that, Maddie. W's in the chat for Maddie. Thank you so much. And W's in the chat for Gregory for the $2 donation. Saying, we need to get back to educating our own. These young black men and black conservatives have been educated and indoctrinated with white supremacist ideology. Listen to the arguments. They sound like fragile white boys. Sad. I agree. Because this shit is wild. W's in the chat for all the donos. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Yeah. All right, Jay. So you said that we're going to be using the United States Constitution for your point. Is that an accurate statement?
Well, yeah. Generally, like when I say we're going to use the Constitution, I'm just saying
we're not going to generalize. We're not generalizing.
No, that's not what I'm saying, dude. Can I finish?
You get mad at me. I want to make sure I stop generally. Go ahead.
This dude, bro, you're actually so Democrats. Anyways, so the reason why I bring in the Constitution is if we can look at something that sets like precedents before the government's fully evolves, you need some sort of core purpose of core reason for this future government, or core something you can look back to. The only reason the Constitution exists is because you need like a basis of every single law that can. So if there's disagreements later on, you can fall back to the Constitution.
So
and then that's why we have amendments to the Constitution where the Constitution wasn't specific enough.
So just to make sure I have this clear, you're saying the only reason that the United States Constitution was created was to have basis of the law. So in case there was any type of dispute, then they could come back to the Constitution. Is that an accurate statement?
Well, if there's generally, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would say you worded it a bit differently, but generally, yeah.
Okay. All right. So your basis would be that's the only reason the founders, the founding fathers, that's the only reason they created the United States Constitution.
Well, yeah, to set some sort of base.
Okay.
I mean, if they didn't have the Constitution, people could just, the government could turn into this, like what you said, like this anarchy or whatever.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So where did you get that information that that was the only reason the founders created the Constitution?
It's self-explanatory when you even look at the Constitution.
No. Stop, Jay. I need you to listen to me. I allowed you to say that you were going to use the Constitution. I'm fine with that. But remember what was my contention with you. I need an actual source to be able to verify the things.
Look at the preamble to the Constitution. Look at the preamble to the Constitution. It's kind of little. Yeah.
So you made the point that the only reason the United States Constitution was created was for the things that I said, right? It was for the actual backings that have the laws just in case they needed to come back for it. That's fine. Give me the source that you're
preamble to the Constitution.
So you're saying the preamble states that. Okay. All right. Let's pull up the preamble.
I can read it right now. I got it in front of me. If that's okay with me, or if you want.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, floor is yours.
Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
No, you got it.
We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Do you want to speak or I can speak?
So help me understand how the preamble dictates that the only reason the Constitution was created was to establish laws that could be referenced in the future?
Well, okay, so first in order to start off, in order to form a more perfect union, this is part of establishing laws or something to look back to is perfecting the previous issues of the British government. So the issues with the British government they had to form a more perfect government, because these are British people speaking, or people who were previously British.
Wait, so where are you getting that information from?
That these were previous British people.
No.
The colonies were from Brits.
No. That they're establishing.
I'm just explaining what they're saying,
right,
sentence by sentence,
right,
and then we're going to come to a conclusion of the purpose.
Listen, Jay, hold on. What I'm saying.
Oh my gosh!
Listen to me, Jay. Just listen.
What is wrong with you, dude?
Listen to me for a second. You're saying that this sentence is based off of the quote unquote union that was prior to the creation of the US, which is based off of the British governmental system, right? I'm saying, okay, I'm willing to accept that, but where are you getting that from? Because you're just saying that you were
What other union existed, dude? What other union existed? You have to prove your point. You have to prove your disagreement.
Where are you getting that? I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying I need to know where you're
getting general knowledge. It's general knowledge.
I've already told you multiple times we're not accepting your general knowledge.
It's not my general knowledge. Ask anybody in chat. What was the colonies before they were a U.S. colony? Who's calling?
Articles of Confederation.
What does that have to do with anything, dude?
Nothing. It's just.
So just stop yapping if it doesn't have to do with anything.
I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know why you're talking.
Point of speech.
He has issues with impulse control. And just the FYI, so scholars that have broken this down, including scholars that list the information, even the Cato Institute did a deep dive on the actual the preamble in conjunction with Cornell. When they take a look at the actual statement of more perfect union, it's literally what Jeff just said. They're talking about the weak governmental structure under the Articles of Confederation. So no, they weren't talking about the British. You're so fucking wrong.
One thing that annoys me is when people step on punchlines. The no was sarcastic. I was going to say no, except that it was the document before the Constitution that they were improving on.
So you're wrong.
Yeah, but still, that was still the government was still had a British base because of the colonies. What are you talking?
Did they get rid of?
And when the articles,
did they get rid of the British base?
Well, they were attempting to, but you still, because if you completely get rid of all of British base, there is no government.
That's going to be dodge number one. Did they
no,
get rid
I don't think they completely got rid of it. I said no.
Which parts of the British base?
No, I said no, Jeff.
Which parts of the British base did they get rid of?
I would say they didn't uphold to the monarchy or whatever. They didn't uphold to the queen. They didn't have to listen to the Well, you said what was the one ands? I don't know, dude. You gave me one example. I'm not going to give you 30 different examples.
Which parts? There were two. So you gave one. The S at the end implies plural, so more than one.
Well, you tell me. I couldn't tell you.
The other one is the theocracy. So the monarchy and the theocracy. Which major part did they keep?
I'm not going to be answering 30 different questions, dude. Like,
you were asking a bunch of questions. Now you're
I didn't ask a bunch of questions.
That's going to be dodge number one.
I'm not going to answer 30 questions. That's a dodge.
When you were
get to a point, Jeff. Get to a point.
When you were asking,
don't ask questions just to ask questions. Get to a point.
No, I'm not asking.
Give me a second, Jeff. Hey, Jay, stop. Like, actually engage. Stop talking over.
He's just asking questions.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna put you on mute. I don't want to have to keep muting you, Jay. Like, seriously, I would love to actually get through this conversation because we've strayed so far away from where we were. I would love it if we could actually have like just one concise conversation. So can you, like, whatever the fuck you think you're doing right now, can you just stop doing that and actually engage in good faith? Jeff, floor is yours.
It's just one final question, and then we'll get back to the reason that all of this was unnecessary. Just the one question is, which major part did they keep?
I couldn't tell you exactly what was the major part they kept.
That would be common law. So they kept common law. They got rid of monarchy and theocracy. You should read more of like Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. People have talked about this for millennia, but now here's the question, because this all started with the whole thing of the reason.
You said that was the last
I don't know.
question.
Again, I have no idea why it is that you're talking. I'm not asking you a quiz question. This is a question about your position. I'm going to restate your position and make sure I understand it. And then I'm going to ask you see, the thing is, when you have impulse control problems, you think you know what somebody's going to say, but you're too unintelligent and you're talking again. The vocal cords need to disengage.
I have to answer all your questions, but y'all can't.
The vocal cords need to disengage.
Y'all can't answer my question, but I have to answer yours.
Stop talking. I can answer any of your questions.
Holy fuck.
Look, if you could tell me who John Locke was, then we can do all that stuff. But I don't even want to talk about this anymore because I'm satisfied that you don't know anything about this. I'm going to go back to your position because you guys were, and look, I'm not, neither me or Santana, you can agree with me on this, Santana, like having men talk about abortion. Like we're not a fan of that.
No.
But you said that this was to settle the reason that you're anti-vasectomies, but pro a nationwide abortion ban is because vasectomies is one person and abortion is two persons in a disagreement. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, two with conflicting interests. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you take a disagreement or a conflicting interest to be?
Well, when one person wants to do one thing and another person is motivated to do another. I guess that's more of an example, but I think all examples fall under that. Okay,
great. What is the disagreement in abortion?
Well, the baby's will is to live and the mother's will is to unalive it.
So now I need an argument for that the baby's will is to live.
Because its cells are replicating. That shows its will to live.
Those cells have will?
I believe cells have purpose, yeah, and will.
I didn't ask about purpose. Do cells have will?
It depends on how you define will, but in a loosely defined way, yeah, sure. I don't believe they have like subjective experiences will, but I would define will as multiple ways.
Let's just settle on
like almost like when you say when two objects come close together because of gravity or something. I mean, guess you could just say they have the will to come to each other.
I would call that a force. Is that what you're calling a will?
Well, all that doesn't mean anything because all wills are motivated by some sort of force or some sort of underlying. Like I would have the will to speak to you right now because I got nothing else to do. That's a force that's motivating me to do.
No, that would be a reason.
A reason is, but reason can also be a force. Why is
reason? Force is a physical thing. A reason is a conceptual thing. You don't know philosophy.
Well, you can use physical things in a conceptual
manner. Wait.
You can use physical things.
A reason is not a physical thing. So stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, but
stop interrupting though. This is
I said
you stop talking. But look, whatever your vocal cords are doing right now, make them stop.
Why I get mad?
I'm not even mad. I'm just telling you to switch the button to the off position.
Okay,
until I'm done speaking. Okay. So now I just want to get a clear definition of what you call will. I don't want an example.
Well, like I said, I believe will could be used to refer to something that's not necessarily a physical, subjective experience, will or something. But I don't even know what a will is even within a subjective experience. So that's why I use will in a general manner, even when you're referencing something has the will, because like when I bring up the gravity between two objects, the objects have the will to go to each other. Because what even is a will? Even within a subjective experience, I don't believe there is some sort of There's no objective thing you could observe that shows you what a will is. So that's why I use it so loosely. But if you want me to use it in a different way, I can use your definition.
All right. So you heard me not say a thing while you said all your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this. Put a 1 in the chat if Jay did not give me a definition of the word will.
I mean, it is a biased chat, but
okay. So you think you gave me a definition of the word will?
Not like I said. I don't really have
you should be putting a 1 in the chat
definition. I don't really have a direct definition.
Okay. So what concept are you tracking when you say the word will?
What concept am I tracking? I would say motivation to do something or an action motivation that causes an action.
And the motivation would be like, I understand.
When you say the motivation be in what scenario? Like,
I understand motivation to be something that occurs in a mind.
Why would it be different in something outside of a mind? Why can't you use the word the same way?
No, I'm not saying the word the same way. I'm saying the concept of a motivation to do something willfully. I would understand that to be used typically as described in a mind.
Yeah, but I'm still the reason why I'm even saying this is because I mean we know that its will is to live, because then why else would it?
That's begging the question. So now again,
no, it's not begging the question.
It is.
How's it begging the question?
You know what begging the question is?
Yeah, I know what begging the question is. I'm asking you to demonstrate
what is your understanding of begging the question?
Well, if you assume you assume what.
Yeah. So I don't think a fetus has a will. You do. And now you just said, well, of course it has a will.
No, but what I'm saying is my definition of a will, or my idea of what a will is, yes, it would be.
Okay, hold on. So wait a minute.
Because, okay, no.
Stop talking.
Okay,
Stop talking.
Yeah.
Your definition of will includes things that don't have minds, which would then mean that the government is there to adjudicate disagreements between inanimate objects.
I said humans. That was another thing. I said humans, the wills of two humans. Because wait, hold up. Don't animals have wills? Don't animals have wills?
Animals, depending on your theory of mind, have minds.
But do they have wills?
They can, but they have minds. They can communicate.
Okay, so then what you said is like red herring, completely irrelevant.
What is a red herring now?
Something that's not relevant to the conversation.
Wait. When you gave me the example of a will,
like a distraction.
I'm just gonna completely just restate what I said, without an interruption this time. When you said an example of a will, did you use magnets?
Did I use magnets? No, not necessarily magnets.
You didn't directly say magnets?
I said two objects, not all objects that are attracted to each other.
I'm just going to ask again. I'm just going to ask the question again and just be honest this time. Did you or did you not say magnets?
I said objects, but you may have misheard me and said magnets, but I said objects. But okay. I can understand how you misheard me. But let's even say magnets.
Okay. It's not. Do magnets have minds?
No, I can agree with that.
Okay. So I'm going to say my thing again.
Yeah.
Will and motivation are two things that are typically, as far as I understand them, ascribed to minds.
Yeah.
Okay. Which would mean that there's a distinction between me getting up from where I'm sitting and going to get a glass of water, right?
Yeah.
And my skin cells just reproducing themselves. Those are two different things.
I got a question. This is actually a genuine question. What is the difference between, in a more of a mechanical way, what is the difference between you deciding you want to get up and go do something versus an object going in the same direction? Let's just say you go in the same direction as the object, but you're walking. What is the difference there in a more metaphysical level? Like, what is that?
I don't even know what you mean by metaphysical there, but just on a real world level, one is one that you can derive from mental states, which would be in your brain, neurons firing and making a willful decision. The other one is something that's disposition.
But why is it willful? What makes it willful is the question.
The fact that it occurs in a mind. Like I said, will is understood to be.
It occurs.
I don't know why it is that you're interrupting me yet a seventh time. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
Well, because you wasn't really directly answering my question.
I was answering your. Well, okay, fine. You know what? Mm-hmm. You're right. What was my answer that didn't answer your question?
You said, I asked you, what is the difference between me going somewhere,
yes,
and an object going in the same direction? It's already assumed that the reason why you went there is because of the mind.
The question is, what answer did I give that didn't?
You didn't let me finish. I restated the question so I can come to the answer. And I was demonstrating how your answer didn't answer my question, but you didn't even let me finish. Now you're mad at me because you didn't even.
I'm not mad at you.
Yes, you are.
Just to answer directly.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Look, I know you're floundering and you've gotten demolished on the substance.
Sure.
Now you're getting demolished on the rhetoric.
Just saying,
you're about to get demolished on when I roast you. So can you just directly answer the question?
Go roast me. Okay.
Can you directly answer the question?
Okay, I directly answer your question.
What was my non-answer?
Okay, so as I repeat, your non-answer was that it was the mind. The reason why this was
not my non-answer. Okay, good. So
the difference was the mind. That literally was your answer.
No.
Okay.
Because I'm enumerating a difference, right?
Okay.
The difference is that one occurs in a mind and one does not. Is that a difference?
Yo, hold on. Am I being played right now? Am I being rage baited?
Wait.
Are you
rage baited? Hold on. Just to be clear, is that a difference?
Yes, but that difference is
so I did
already
answer
assumed.
your question. Fine.
That
How do
difference
you
is already
extract?
assumed.
Hold on. Outside of disposition, because disposition is one thing, will is another. How do you extract the will of a fetus?
How do you extract the will of a fetus?
Yes.
Well, oh my gosh. The will of a fetus, the reason why I said the will of a fetus to live, I understand that your concept of what will is different.
Hold on. Trigger warning content.
Finish.
No, you can't. Trigger warning content warning. Trigger warning content warning. 5-second warning. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. If somebody has ideations of self-harm, right? And you strap them down to a bed and they keep telling you that they want to do this thing. Are you saying that their will is to live because their body keeps living?
Well, their body's will is to live. I think you should stop people from self-harm. Yeah,
I'm just going to ask the question. I didn't ask what they should do. I'm asking what is. I didn't ask any of that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be dodge number one.
No, I'm going to
show you how
it is the body's will to live.
I'm going to show you how you didn't answer my question.
Okay, show me.
I don't even know how you make a distinction between the person and the body. But now the question is it their will to live because their body keeps living?
I believe that within the human body and within anything, there's multiple wills. I don't believe.
He got aborted.
Yikes. Mm-hmm. That was so bad.
Jeff, this is the first person, like I've been live for an hour and a half, and this is the only person that I've actually debated.
I was watching for so long. And here's the thing. I don't like anti-intellectualism. I hate all that stuff. But I do like when people go, you know what? I don't know a lot about this stuff. So when you first asked him, where did you get that from? And he goes, just my thoughts. I was like, oh, so this is a teaching moment. Like Santana going to be able to teach this guy some stuff. But then he started with the goofy nonsense. Like, you're running. He don't have the authority or the talent or the knowledge base to even say anybody's running.
I just I don't understand the fact that like you openly willing and openly admitting that like you have no sources, but yet you are the source of truth when it comes to like what you're actually. That makes no fucking sense. Like none.
By the way, W's to Jocelyn, just because this made me laugh, for the $1 on PayPal, saying W for rage baiting the rage baiter.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Canada. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh, I'm a Trump supporter. I disagree with everything on your background. Canada should become the 51st state.
Why should I take you serious?
Why should you take anybody seriously? I mean, you guys are hard to take seriously with a background like that.
For taking different people serious, but right here, right now, we're not talking about other people or other things. We're talking about you. Why should I take you serious?
So we can have a civil discussion. It's hard to take you seriously with this background. Remove men leaders. Come on.
See, but you know why you have to take me serious? It's because it's my live, Bub. And in order for you to actually engage in my live, you have to take me serious. Now, the reason why I say, why should I take you serious is because like, yeah, you see the men leaders part, but at the top, it says time to change America. Now you're not American, you're Canadian. And so again, I'm not saying that I'm going to kick you. I just really need a justifiable reason to take you serious in this moment.
So when you look at Canada and US, we're very close. Like, yes, there's a border, but culturally, culturally, we're the same. So is the whole Western world. We kind of run off the same principles. Yeah, there's a border. Yeah, you guys have different sets of laws, but ideologically, everything like that, our countries are pretty close.
How many times have you been into the U.S.?
I've been there a few times. Went on vacation down in New York. A lot of Canadians do that quite often. Been in New York City.
To the country?
Would have been 3 years ago. I've been busy with work recently.
How long is the longest time period that you've actually stayed in the country?
3 months, but Canadians are pretty versed on American issues. Like,
so
our media focuses more.
The last time you were in the country, it was being ran by Joseph Robinette Biden. The longest you've been here is 3 months. You've been, where else have you been besides New York?
I went down to Florida a few times, kind of the typical spots Canadians go down to.
So you've been to Florida and New York. Any other state within the Union?
Honestly, I haven't traveled very much through the United States. I want to do more of that, but I'm a younger guy. It's hard right now to...
How old are you?
I'm 32, so I'm getting old.
All right. So you're 32. You're Canadian. You haven't been to the U.S. in 3 years. The most time that you spent in the country is 3 months. And the only 2 states that you've been to out of the 50 states is New York and Florida. But
I've passed through other...
You think I should take you serious on this conversation?
Well, Canadians are pretty well versed on American issues. Like, our media focuses a lot on stuff that's happening down there. Like, we probably get... Yeah, we probably get more coverage because how close we are to you guys. We probably get more coverage on what's happening in the United States and what's happening in Canada.
What do you think about what the Trump administration is doing to Cuba?
I think it's a pain that has to be done. Cuba needs... I don't necessarily support the blockade tactic, but I think Cuba has to come into the sphere of influence and become part of the Western Empire instead of trying to... stick it to us. Like, they got to get on board.
What do you think about what Trump is doing in Venezuela with the minerals deal that they just signed to extort gold?
Well, I support it 1,000%. They took Maduro out. That was a great thing. He was a evil dictator.
But that has nothing to do with the minerals deal that they signed to extort the gold.
I'll be honest, I haven't read up on that agreement. You said it was fairly new, so I haven't heard
been almost a month now.
What is it?
What do you think about the position that Trump has taken with Russia as far as even though there's valid international and domestic intel that Russia has been aligning itself with Iran and giving them support when it comes to military United States military bases and personnel within the Middle East? What do you think about Trump not actually engaging with Russia?
Well, I think that tactic was normalized by the United States under Biden and, Europe giving intelligence to Ukraine to strike Russian targets.
Normalized?
Because the Western world, so Europe and United States, have been feeding Ukraine intel for the last, 5 years on Russian targets. So I think that was normalized by doing that. So they're kind of counter hitting.
That's not the question. The question is, what do you think about the Trump administration not engaging with Russia at all, since they know this? They're not saying stop. They're not trying to change any type of communications, nothing.
I think it's a larger issue. You have to look at it. You can't look at it as just specifically that happening right now. Trump has been trying to re-engage Russia since he became president, but he's facing resistance from the Ukraine and Europe. He's not able to fully implement the agenda. We need Russia on our side in the 21st century, or China could potentially dominate the world here.
What do you think about Donald Trump going to China and asking China to send ships to the Strait of Hormuz instead of them doing that, they have sent ships and aircrafts and are now surrounding Taiwan?
Well, that's to be expected. I don't exactly know what he's doing with that, because China's covertly supports Iran. So I think that's a bit of a joke. I'm not a total loyalist. I can point out a silly play when I see one.
What do you think about Donald Trump and his administration trying to pass the Save America Act, which would disenfranchise millions of Americans, including 21 million Americans who don't have access to passport, and also the women that would be restricted from having the ability to vote.
Oh, that's a great law. It's going to protect your elections. Come on. Like, you can't dispute that.
Can you directly engage in what I said?
Well, it's a very good, well-written law designed to protect.
What do you think about the 21 million Americans that will be impacted by the Save America Act because they don't have access to a passport, and the millions of women who won't be able to register to vote?
I don't believe it says passport. Does it not stipulate photo ID, or does it specifically stipulate passport? I don't remember reading anything about passport being needed.
Yeah, to be able to register to vote, you have to have your passport. And there's a couple of different specific articles or documents needed depending on what type of citizen you are, whether you are someone that was American born, whether you are an indigenous person, whether you are a naturalized citizen. But in typical for American citizens, it talks about the passport. But again, can you directly engage with the point as far as people being disenfranchised, as far as not being able to vote? That's the question I really want you to answer. What do you think about a law that the Trump administration is trying to pass that will stop Americans from voting?
So I'll just point out here, do you guys have birth certificates in the United States?
Yes, we have birth certificates. Do you know what the issue is with the birth certificates?
What's the issue with birth certificates?
If a woman is married in the U.S. and she takes her husband's last name, what's the difference between the last name on her ID and the last name on her birth certificate?
I mean, as far like there'd be clauses in there that would bridge the gap between that. I think it's alarmism going on about that.
There's literally no clauses in there for that. Unless there are changes made to the piece of legislation, as it stands, there's no clauses for that. So can you directly answer my question?
I don't think it'll disenfranchise 21 million Americans.
I don't care what you think. I'm telling you, as it's currently constructed, at the minimum, there's 21 million Americans that don't have access to passports. It's pretty much an actual poll tax, but also the countless amount of women that'll be disenfranchised because, again, their current, if they're married and they took their husband's last name, their last name doesn't match the last name on their birth certificate.
It's just alarmism on this. I doubt 21 million Americans will become disenfranchised. It'll probably work different in practice. I think that's a very alarmist kind of point you guys are all taking. You need to protect elections, and this is the way to do it.
With
photo
the elections,
ID.
Can you tell me over the 30 years, the last 30 years, how many undocumented immigrants have voted in the United States federal elections?
That's hard to quantify.
There was a complete study that was even completed by the Heritage Foundation, which is the right-wing think tank.
So what was the number that the Heritage Foundation came up with?
Over a 30-year history, it's about 1,000 something. I don't have the exact number in front of me. I can pull it up, but a little over 1,000 over 30 years. In this, the most recent election where there was election fraud that was found, do you know who the election fraud was for?
I believe there's a lot of fraud from the Democrats, 100%.
Nope.
There usually is.
Nope. The most recent cases of election fraud was cases of people who were in one way, shape, or the other trying to, did they say 68? Did I misquote that? Hold on one second. Did I misquote that? Heritage database, election fraud. Key voter fraud.
You know, I got an article for BBC here that says it could be experts are saying as many as 2.7 illegals could vote in November.
Undocumented
That's from the
immigrants.
BBC.
Sure. Tell me what the BBC is saying and how can undocumented immigrants vote in the federal election?
Well, you can get driver's licenses in some of these states, as I understand. Then you just use that to go in and vote.
No. Is that what the BBC is saying? I'm not saying what you understand. I want you to, you said you got an article from the BBC that says that, and I'm saying, cool. Where are you seeing that in the BBC?
Wow, it's this article I'm reading on here.
Sure,
investigating.
tell me what it says specifically in the article. And actually, guys, you're right. I'm looking on the Heritage Foundation's website right now, and it is 63. The Heritage Foundation, since 1982, they've been able to find 63. So I apologize. Holy shit. I was way off. It's not even 1,000. 63. So tell me where in the BBC article. And what's the title of the article again?
It's just investigating Trump campaign's biggest illegal voter.
What's the title of the article?
Yeah, that's the title of it. Investigating Trump campaign's biggest illegal voter claim. This is actually from 2024, so this would have been from the before the last federal election, I guess.
So were you lying before I pulled this up?
Wow, it says 2.7 million illegals.
So
could
were
vote
you lying?
in November.
Were you lying?
Lying about what?
You said the article was saying that 2.7 million undocumented immigrants could be voting. And now you're shifting and saying that this is from prior to the election. And now you're actually shifting a little bit more. So I need you to answer the question.
No, I didn't check the date on the article at first, so I wasn't sure which election it was talking about, but it's from the article is dated October 22nd, 2024.
Yeah, that's fine. Does the article actually say that there are 2.7 million people that could have voted? Or does the article say that the claim says there's 2.7 million?
It says 2.7 million. It says that's the claim being made.
So
then
it's not the actual article validating what you said. It's literally them talking about the claim that's being made. Is that an accurate statement?
So it's, it's a non-biased
article. Is that an
article.
accurate statement?
Not entirely, if I can just explain.
Oh, okay. No. You don't have to explain anything just yet. You don't have to explain anything just yet. Give me a second.
So it's a non-biased article.
No.
It says
Stop trying to actually explain things and just give it a second. 1 second here. Go ahead and read that for me.
Which part?
Just start from the top.
Wow. So the message was addressed to real American patriots to ensure a victory too big to rig.
Keep going.
This is kind of the hit piece of it. You scroll down.
No. This was literally your source. Please just read.
Yeah. So scroll down a little bit.
No. This was your source. Please just read your source.
It's a very big article. Are you going to scroll down further, or are you just going to stop?
That's fine. I just want you to go ahead and read the source that you gave. It's fine. I don't have an issue with scrolling down, but I want you to read the source that you provided.
Experts are saying that as many as 2.7 illegals could vote in November. Read the email.
No. Why did you skip that part right here? Why did the very first line? You didn't read the line. Read the line. You're disingenuous as fuck. And I sat there and said, why should I take you serious? We started this conversation with me saying, why should I take you serious? If you can't even be genuine enough to not only not lie about the sources you have, but if I put the source in your fucking face, then you're going to lie about what you see. Read the sentence.
Okay, you scrolled down. I read the top line.
I didn't scroll any fucking where. Read the sentence.
Yeah, because there's a sentence above that that I had read.
Read the sentence.
You can read it too. Why do you need me to read it, brother?
You are the disingenuous asshole that came up here and said that I should take you serious, but yet you have given me nothing, no reason to take you serious yet. Now, either you will read or you can fuck off.
All right. Let me say we gotta read this whole article.
I want you to read the sentence.
Sent out to a mailing list by the Republican National Committee co-chair Laura Trump, it combined two of the biggest themes of Donald Trump's campaign: immigration and alleged election fraud. So, when you originally said that the article says that there's 2.7 million undocumented immigrants that could have voted in the election, you weren't being honest, because the article is saying this is the mailer that was sent out by the RNC making a claim. So you were disingenuous as fuck with the actual article. Sure. Scroll down the article, okay, to where it says the origins of the story. Then it talks about the methodology they're using. So right there, written by three academics led by Jesse Richmond, an associate professor at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Mm-hmm. The paper says number of non-citizen voters could range from just over 38,000 at the very minimum to nearly 2.8 million on the maximum. Okay, so just to verify, the range that was given is 38,000 to 2.8 million. Yeah.
What was the methodology?
And that was in 2010.
Did you hear Jeff's question?
Well, it's a study, right? You guys love your studies.
I'm going to ask that. That's dodge number one. I'm super Phil bro today. What was the methodology?
It's a study. I don't know the exact methodology they used, but it seems solid to me.
Let me check with the judges here. Solid is my brother.
How could it seem solid if you, like, one, you just found this, two, you didn't actually engage in anything that it's saying, and three, I have such a big point of contention with this, but I'm not even going to tell you three. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
All right. So it's a study, is not a methodology. So the options here are what the methodology is, or I don't know. So I'm going to ask the question as a third try. What was the methodology?
It's a study, guys. Come on, y'all love your studies.
Okay, cool. So that's swing and a miss, strike three on a fastball on the inside corner. Those are hard to hit, though, especially when they're like 95 miles an hour. I'm going to help you. It's an internet poll. The answer that they were looking for is internet poll. That's the answer we were looking for. If you go and click through, at some point you're going to bottom out at something you need academic credentials for, like university credentials. You'll see a study where most of these studies are done by internet polling. They just go up to either random people on the street or people on the internet and say, "Are you a citizen? Did you vote?"
Hey Jeff. Since I know this guy's disingenuous as shit, can you read what's on the screen?
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. So let's see. Beyond the dispute over methodology, there's another problem with the argument that large numbers of immigrants are voting illegally. There are very few confirmed cases of it. The right-wing Heritage Foundation think tank compiled a database that includes decades of voting fraud cases, but only about 100 include a reference to non-citizens voting. Criminal prosecution of illegal voters is not just non-citizens, but felons and other ineligible voters is also extremely rare.
Okay.
Yikes.
Okay. So, did you go this far into the article? I just need to know. Answer that question. Did you go this far?
100%. It's interpretation. You guys are interpreting.
Okay. Wait. We're not. No. We're not interpreting shit. We're just reading what's in the article. So I just need to know, did you get this far or did you stop before you got here?
I read the whole thing, guys. It says confirm.
So you read the whole thing.
Confirm a case.
Perfect.
It's hard to confirm a case.
Perfect.
Okay?
So you read the whole thing. That's perfect. Since you read the whole thing, do you guys know how hard it is to vote in Canada?
Hey,
okay, I don't give a shit. You're not talking about Canada now. You wanted to come talk American politics, so now you're gonna lock the fuck in on American politics. Hey,
you guys need to fix your election system.
Fuck that. You wanted to talk about this. You did. You came up here. You came up here.
You need to fix your election system. You came up here
fucking whining and wanted to talk about American politics. Now you're gonna put your big boy pants on and you're gonna do it. Stop running, you fucking coward. Stop running, you fucking coward. Shut up. You're crashing out. You have nothing. You have nothing, and now you're cooked. That's fine. This is what I want you to answer.
Buddy.
Stop it. This is the third point that I had an issue with. You brought an article that was based prior to the election. The election has happened, and there has been investigations into voter fraud claims. Why didn't you go to those actual voter fraud claims and deal with those?
Guys, it happens. You can make your
election.
Answer
the question. Answer the question.
Find me an article. We'll go through it.
No. Answer the question. The election has happened. You pulled an article that was prior to the election. Why did you not go to the investigations that have been completed into the voter fraud claims? Why didn't you go pull that information?
Show me one of these studies. It's hard to investigate these kind of things, guys.
Answer the question. That's not the question.
Pull up one of your sources.
Hey, stop. I need you to hear me. I'm not saying that I'm disputing any source. This is solely a you question. Why did you make the decision not to go look at any of the disputed and litigated voter fraud claims since the election?
I don't believe there's been any reputable ones. You know, they're all unreputable sources.
So court cases are not reputable sources.
Well, when you got Democratic judges, look at what they're doing to Trump in court.
Yeah. So listen, I told you that the reason why I said, give me a reason to take you serious. And this entire time you haven't given me shit, right? You've lied. You've been disingenuous. You haven't answered questions.
I lied about shit.
You lied, or either you're stupid. I don't know which. I think actually it's both. You're a stupid liar. So that's it. You're a stupid liar, and you've been unable to actually answer questions. You've shown a lack of impulse control, and even more than that, you have no understanding, and you don't even fucking go here. So next time that you come and try to talk about American politics, how about you actually be better? No, you lose.
Crashing out.
You lose. Listen,
can I give him a simple question? Super simple question. It's about the very first thing he said. And then I'll mute, I swear. Hey, Canada, just you said the ideologies between us and the United States and Canada are pretty close.
Oh, yeah. The liberals are just like you guys.
Just real quick. This is going to be super easy. Why do you bend the knee to some old dude in the UK with bad teeth? We don't do that.
Oh, guy, you don't know much about the Canadian system. They don't have any influence over Canada. Like, it's a ceremonial.
That's your king. It's the Commonwealth. What are you talking about? You don't know your own country?
Like this entire shit. I literally said, give me a reason to take you serious. And he continues to lie and be completely disingenuous. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Hello.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I disagree with, I think Trump is a great president. And yes, I am a Trump supporter.
Okay. Can you give me but just a couple of minutes. I got a lot of people to thank, and I need to get caught up.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
All right, perfect. Thank you. W's in the chat for Sadless, who sent a $10 super chat to say, ask the question, why not the way people conserve more come understanding. Oh, I'm sorry. That was from when Jay was here. Jay was fucking insufferable. W's in the chat for Muzi for the $10 super chat to say, Jay, let's get past defining will right now. Looked up the ultra-crepidarian in the dictionary and saw your PFP. I agree. W's in the chat for Zion, who sent $2 super chat to say, caller, mental gymnastics is tiring. It was insufferable. W's in the chat for Cindy for the $4.99 super chat to say, this guy can forget about being on the wrong page. He's in a completely different book. W's in the chat for Miss Bella for the $20 super chat to say, Jay, learning patience would help you go a long way. Talk less, listen more. You may learn something for once. I don't think he would have ever learned anything. These came prior to the actual kick fund. W's in chat for Shay for the $25 donation said, still confused how Jay wants limited government, but it's okay with government that can force women to give birth. Thank you for recognizing you both are men and reverted back to the mandatory vasectomy. Yeah, I always try to stay there. W's in the chat for Candace for the $1 donation saying his entire argument has been based on him asserting his claim is true without evidence and demanding you prove him wrong. That's exactly what he did. W's in the chat for Doug for the $10 donation saying, please explain Dunning-Kruger effect to Jay. He was the worst. W's in the chat for Good for the $5 donation said, feel free. Yeah, good. I would actually like that. Yeah, absolutely. W's in the chat for Cindy for the $25 donation saying, thank you for bringing this to us. Always appreciate your effort and knowledge. W's in the chat for Cindy. W's in the chat for Roberta for the $5 that added to the kick fund. W's in the chat for Paris for the $10 added to the kick fund. Thank you so much for that, Paris. W's in the chat for Damon for the $25 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Brienne for the $2 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Tess for the $15 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Irene for the $5 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Michelle for the $5 I added to the kick fund. So I definitely don't want people like this making decisions for women. W's in the chat for Angie for the 10 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Amanda, who sent a 5 and said, read this to Jay. I'm sorry I missed it. If cells have will, your argument would still be less coherent than things happening. I agree. W's in the chat for Damon for the $28 saying, not fast enough, get them gone. W's in chat for Brittany for the 10 say, only Trump supporters would end up talking about magnets in the conversation originally about vasectomies. Add this to the ban if he needs it. Yeah, W's in the chat for you. Thank you for that. W's in the chat for Tess for the 28 towards the kick fund. And thank you for that. Yeah, I'm going to be taking off here in a couple of hours. W's in the chat for Maryland for the 5. It said, yeah, he was stupid. W's in the chat for Kelsey for the 15 to say that he was definitely dangerous. You said never donated to anyone before. Kelsey, thank you so much for the $15 donation. That's crazy. W's in the chat for you. W's in the chat for Zendaya for the 5 to the kick fund. W's in the chat for Kelsey said 10 to the donut to drop this creek. He added to the kick fund. W's in the chat for Pernell for the $10. Said this was for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Matt Scramble, who said I have ADHD and a severe lack of executive function, which means that I frequently don't do things that I want to do. While gravity moves objects, whether they will it to or not. This guy definitely, he was absolutely absurd. Thank you for that and adding the kick fund. Last but not least, thank you for Amanda, who just sent a $5 donation saying donuts to be donuts be donutting hard today. Holy shit, it was. And guys, I don't know if you could tell, but like I'm like fucking mentally exhausted. I could barely get through those thank yous. I'm sorry, guys. But W's in the chat for all the donos. Thank you all for your love, kindness, and support. Thank you all for being absolutely amazing. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. I'm going to be here a little bit longer, guys, but at some point I'm going to have to hop off so I can start packing and getting ready. I haven't done any of that. But we'll keep it going for a little while longer. Carrie, all right. You said that you are a Trump supporter and you disagree with something on the background.
I can't really see the background. I was just gonna, state the reason why I support Trump still.
Okay.
And debate with you on that. I don't know if that's fine with you.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, sorry, I just can't really see the background because there's like 4 boxes now instead of like just a normal.
There's 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, the reason I support Trump is that you're not gonna believe this, but my wife and I we belong to a certain group, and
are you the
Trump,
weird swinger person? Like, I've heard you on Parker's Live. I don't want to talk about swinger shit.
Fuck Trump. I love you, Santana.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Guys, 1.2 thousand people hanging out here. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Also, take care of Jeff. Jeff is hanging out here with us, guys. Show Jeff some love. Make sure that we are getting his coins up and make sure that we're hitting his pay links. Please, please, please show Jeff some love. And if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link here in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Also, Debbie's in the chat for One Mighty Pin, who sent the "Why are you running?" And then also Vash Bell sent the "Why you always lying?" Vash Bell also reached a 130 Steam streak. Heated Cow sent 200 bits. Let's fucking go. Debbie's in the chat for Twitch as well. Let's see here. If you are over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you would like to join the debate, you do not have to leave where you are. You don't have to leave your safe space. All you have to do is click that link that I am dropping in the comments. So you can stay on the app that you're in. You don't have to come over to TikTok. All you got to do is hit that click that link, and you can come up and debate. Jeff, what you got? Like, I'm like, this has been draining as fuck this morning.
Boundaries are important.
Yeah,
I think, especially if you have what's like an atypical type of like relationship dynamic, and you can to like promote that. The aversion to boundaries is probably bad. If you have a atypical relationship dynamic and you want to support it, you don't want people to think that your atypical relationship dynamic is grapey. So let's not violate Santana's boundaries.
Yeah, a lot of people have issues with consent, which is weird, but I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. We don't have any ops, and honestly, I think I'm gonna call it here because I really do need to start getting ready. I forgot that apparently TSA pre-check and clear is down, so I'm gonna have to like wait in this long line, and I'm gonna have to take my shoes off and shit. So I got to go to the airport earlier than I normally would because I usually get there maybe an hour at the latest or earliest. And then I just go like to the lounge and hang out. But I think I'm going to have to actually leave and go early so I can make it in higher. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Sorry, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yes, I would like to disagree on the remove men leaders. I did want to ask about, sorry, I was just eating, so I'm trying to finish my food here. I'm sorry, I apologize. So when you refer to the get rid of all men leaders, I know you talked about how it's due to kind of the way the country's going and how it's only going to last, or nations usually last for 250 years. While that is true, I don't think our nation will be going down that path, mostly just due to the fact that situations like this we've been through before, and we usually recover from them pretty easily. But I was wondering, why do you think? Do you think the nation is like going off a cliff in the next 5 years or?
I don't know. I mean, I could hope that we make it 5 to 10 years. Like Donald Trump is alienating us in multiple ways. The fact that we're susceptible to different types of attacks and all this other stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Jeff, you got something?
I want to make sure I understand this. You said we've been through this before?
Yeah, so with the Iraq, so with I know one argument you guys make is about the dollar and it falling. The dollar has fell before. It was actually lowered during the end of the Bush administration, right before the 2008 crash. So we've been through this mostly before to high deficit spending and things like that. And the reason why we're having that today right now is because of Trump's tariff war and things of the Iran war. We're spending billions of dollars, dropping bombs and stuff like that on Iran. But because Trump, we have presidents have 2-term limits, and so Trump will be out, and we'll probably get someone like Gavin Newsom, who will probably reverse all those things, undo the tax cuts, get deficits back down, and we'll probably start trending towards a surplus.
And then you said that when we've had that in the past, we've gotten through it pretty easily. Do you want to revise that?
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
Do you want to revise that statement, or you want to stand on that?
I think I'll. Sorry,
W's in the chat for us for the 3 said, "Hey, just FYI, they no longer require you to take your shoes off, even in normal security." I didn't know that. W's in the chat. Thank you for that. I'll make sure though my socks doesn't have holes in it. So are you going to revise your statement?
I think I'll stand on it for now. I think I will.
I don't know that pretty easily. I would classify at the expense of American lives as pretty easily.
Those aren't, that is an unfortunate situation, but we do recover for them. So I guess if we're using that terminology for recovering easily, then sure, then I will revise that. But I'm just saying in terms of half of the country has died or something like this, or we have some huge civil war or something like this. That's what I was referring to by pretty easily.
That's a pretty crazy bar. Yeah, I don't think that's the bar that I would hold. I just think unnecessary loss of life because of just some willful spending is probably where I would draw that. And also the fact that the recovery is also at the expense of loss of life, as we have people who lose their jobs, lose their pensions, lose their 401ks in order to right the ship. And those people end up unhoused or losing everything. Their mental health suffers. Yeah, I wouldn't call it easy. I'd just say the country rights the ship at the expense of life.
I would agree with that statement. I'm just more referring to the fact of the nation as a whole, because you're talking about the nation falling. And so that's why I was using that bar of having a civil war or having 80% of people dying or something like that. That's why I had that bar. We were talking about nations dying, but when it comes to that, yeah, I agree with that. That's bad, of course.
So I'm not really sure what the were you just disagreeing with the sentiment?
Mostly that, but also just the fact that we don't need to remove male leaders just due to the fact of that I don't think that the nation will fall off a cliff.
But that's not the bar, right? I would say we would need to remove men leaders because they're bad at it.
I guess so. I guess my contention would just be that
one of the things that I mention all the time is that a lot of people dispute the current standings of where we are in it, and the point that I always bring in, hey Peach, is that no matter who you blame for where we are currently, it still falls on at the feet of men. So the actual issues that we have in the country, it all falls to the feet of men.
Sure. I would agree with that. My only contention would just be like, I do think women are also capable of these things. While they might have a less chance of doing it, I think they're also very capable of, causing falling societies to fall or warmongering, things of this nature.
Do you have evidence of that?
So we can look at the fact that a lot of people were calling Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris Zionists and war criminals.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. During her book tour, because she was
I'm saying in a scenario where the women are not beholden to the men in order for them to have, because you are aware that the women that are like, while I'm not a fan of either of those two people, the women that do get into politics have to align with the ideologies of men, otherwise they get called. Like, look what happens with the women that don't fall in line with those ideologies, right?
Who are you referring to? I'm sorry?
Any woman that is anti-Zionist publicly or anti-capitalist publicly, even if their arguments are sound, they get called names that have nothing to do with their arguments, correct?
While they do get called names, what matters at the end of the day is if they get voted in or not. I would say that's what.
Well, they either get called names and relegated to like what the UK people would call backbench status, or they do get voted out.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, so what I would be looking for is evidence of a place where the men are not given unduly influence over the women, and then women lead to those things.
To those scenarios. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm understanding. So you're meaning like a place where men weren't given the ability to vote within a certain period of time.
No, where men weren't given like non-patriarchal kind of stuff. Like, here's an example of a patriarchal way that women are better leaders. The way that most of the women leaders during Brexit, the EU leaders outmaneuvered the UK to get favorable deals and make it so that the EU can now tell the US, go F yourself, when the US says, hey, let's start World War III.
Okay. I guess my only example of that would be like somebody like Margaret Thatcher, who was like very close friends with Reagan and also helped with a lot of the Gulf War and things of that nature during those times. That's my only example.
I'm sorry. I'm over this and I gotta go.
Yeah, that was a crazy take. All right.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Jeff.
Right back at you, fam.
Yep. All right, guys. I gotta start packing. I just realized I forgot to throw clothes in the laundry anyway, so I gotta go do some shit. W's in chat for Tess for the $5 donation sent. Also, if you have air tags, put one aside each bag you carry. You can track it if it's lost. Yeah, no, for sure. I put air tags and everything. W's in chat for Tess. Thank you so much for that $5 dono. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I am like almost 100% sure that I won't be back online this evening. I'll make time, I think, tomorrow at some point. It just depends on what I have going on. It's going to be a busy couple of days for the next couple of days. In all honesty, guys, I have no idea what it's going to look like for the next couple of days, how much or how little you'll see me, but it's going to be crazy. It's going to be busy. And then as soon as I can get back, I'll be back. So, yeah, I love you guys. Let's go ahead and hit this outro.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. I see you guys. I see what you guys are saying. All the well wishes and telling me to stay warm and safe travels and all that. You guys are awesome. I'm going to miss you guys. I'll miss you guys, but I'll be back soon. And when I get back, we will kick it like Kung Fu. All right? All right. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you. Thank you all for hanging out this morning. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for being amazing. I love you all, and as always...